Hi guys, this is Chi, and today we are in Covent Garden, and I just thought I'd come into this little quiet place next to the Royal Theatre Hall, into this little church, where if you come down to this little building here, you can actually sit in a nice quiet place right next to Covent Garden. And today really we're going to be looking at a critical analysis. So what is a critical analysis? Well, if we think about critical analysis, we're really looking at different authors' views on a specific topic area. So if we are looking at, say, for instance, corporate social responsibility, then we can take different authors' views in terms of corporate social responsibility. So what is corporate social responsibility? Well, corporate social responsibility is kind of a self-governing business model that allows the company to assess itself, allows the company to be responsible to their stakeholders and their shareholders, and allows the company to be responsible and assessed to the general public in general terms. So that's what, in a nutshell, corporate social responsibility is. Now, there are many different views on corporate social responsibility. If we think about the triple bottom line, people, planet and profits, well, people, planet and profits kind of links similar to sustainability, and the different pillars of sustainability being the economic, social and environmental factors. So here, with the people, planet and profit, you're looking at the profit from a business perspective in terms of the economic side, the business being a sole trader, partnership, private limited company, public limited company, and therefore is in the private sector to make a profit. And if they don't make a profit, then they're going to go into liquidation and there won't be any more. If we think about Carroll, 1979 to 1991. Well, Carroll 1979 to 1991 kind of highlights four different areas that kind of encapsulate corporate social responsibility. And these four different areas are obviously the economic side. Again, the company, needs to make a profit for their shareholders, for the people running the company, for the people who own the company. Otherwise, why are you in business if you're not making a profit? The ethical side, are they acting in an ethical and moral perspective? Because if they're not, in today's society, one could argue that there is no hiding place. And we look at certain companies, fashion retailers, Marks and Spencer's, Primark, who previously bought their clothes from companies and suppliers from India, and their working conditions may not be spot on, the buildings may not be safe, they may be hiring children under the age of 10, and then getting these children to work for 12 hours at a time for £1. Is that ethical? Is that morally correct? It's not illegal, but is that morally correct, whereby, would you want to go and buy your clothes from a company behaving and acting in that manner? I'm not too sure that I will or would. And then Carroll highlighted the legal side, that there are various legal obligations. If you are a private limited company or a public limited company, you have to operate to the Companies Act 2006 and operate to either GAAP, Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, or IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. And these accounting standards, you have to report your financial accounts in the correct method and way, otherwise you could be fined heavily, as shown with Tesco's, who misappropriated hundreds of millions of pounds in their accounts and subsequently was fined, and the directors could have even gone to prison for a criminal act. If we look at Milton Friedman actually disagrees with corporate social responsibility, and he says that the sole purpose of a business is to make profit, and is to maximize the profit for their shareholders. At the end of the day, you have your gross profit, and then you take away your expenses, gives you your net profit, and you need to, after your corporation tax, you need to give a dividend to your shareholders, the people investing money into your company. Otherwise, why on earth would people want to invest their money into your company? They might as well invest it elsewhere if your company's not making a profit and not giving you a dividend. So Milton Friedman argued that you must maximize profit, and if you are, undertaken in social enterprises, undertaken in various other activities, which is going to create more expenses for your company, then those expenses are going to take away from your gross profit and then reduce your net profit, which means you'll have less money to pay your shareholders a dividend. On the other side of the coin, Nader actually disagrees with Friedman in that he believes that companies have a social responsibility. There are companies out there that get tax benefits and tax breaks from governments. If we take, various Japanese companies now coming into the UK, got, manufacturing EV cars and EV batteries. They've got a subsidy of over 50 to 60 million from the UK government. So why is the UK government giving them a subsidy if they're not getting some social benefit from that company? And likewise, Nader stated that when national companies go private, well, you're selling off state assets. So why shouldn't the public get something back? Why shouldn't they secure them from a social perspective? If we look at Thames Water, Thames Water was a national company. Then it's gone private. Yes, the company's making profit. Yes, the directors have got big bonuses. Yes, the shareholders have made loads of money. But at the end of the day, loads of waste and sewage have actually gone back into the sea and the water, which has angered many, many people. So again, we're looking from a critical analysis perspective, the pros and cons. So from a critical analysis perspective, you need to bring in different authors. And then you kind of need to give your opinion based on, stats, facts and figures. You need to say, taking a specific company example or different company examples, stating that, if you don't take a social perspective, like what the triple bottom line in terms of what Nader is saying and in terms of what Carroll is saying, and you don't take an ethical perspective, then if you don't take this, then you could lose more sales in the long term. So therefore reducing your overall sales and therefore reducing the amount of gross profit that you have. Therefore your overall net profit will be less, and therefore giving you less money to conduct and give back to your shareholders. Likewise, if we look at the Tesco's, who were fined over, a couple £100 million in fines purely because of accounting errors, where the directors could have actually gone to jail. So again, if we see from this perspective, it's not good. So here we can see from a critical analysis perspective, we can see that really you need to give different authors' views. You then need to kind of sum up and give your own critical opinion based on stats, facts and figures. Okay, so that's what we mean by a critical analysis. I hope that has helped today for Mr. Tan. Now I'm just going to have a look around this garden. So we're actually in Covent Garden. Nice little place here that most people don't know about, right next to the Royal Theatre, where you can actually sit down and have a bite to eat. And if we walk down here, we have Covent Garden, which is really, really busy all the time. So we can see Covent Garden. So hope that has helped today for Mr. Tan.